The single most important pattern that you must recognize with Bitcoin if you want to make a fortune over the next 12 to 24 months. Today, I'm going to share that pattern with you on a macro scale. And if you can understand this, you'll separate yourselves from the 90% crowd that typically lose money. So let's dive straight in. Bitcoin is displaying a particular pattern on a macro scale, and it's this. This is the theory, and then we're going to go into the practical. And if you see what I'm going to show you at the end, it's going to blow your mind. Most markets move in 5s and 3s. And what we're seeing with Bitcoin right now is this macro move up and then a macro correction. And typically, it corrects to the range of 50% to 78.6%. Because there's buying and selling behavior based on the human emotion of fear and greed. And it normally breaks down to something called an ABC. So I want to show you this. And then we're going to go into a live Bitcoin chart where you're going to see this exact pattern. From 2017, we got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a macro wave 1. And then when this last part of the move, last part of a correction, more often than not breaks down to a 5-wave sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it looks like Bitcoin is right here, right here. So let's dive into Bitcoin to see what this is looking like on a macro degree chart. So with Bitcoin, let's get rid of these drawings over here. What do you see? Well, since 2017, we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up of a macro wave 1. What do we have since November 2021? This big correction, a big move down, which you call a wave A big move up, a wave B, and this immediate move down, which is breaking down to a 5-wave structure. So it looks like we're coming towards the end of a trend. Why is this really, really important to recognize? Well, typically after a macro degree wave 2, what happens? In all markets, you tend to get a continuation of the former trend. In other words, Bitcoin breaking all-time new highs. It's important to note that Bitcoin is like the macro indicator of the markets. How Bitcoin is feeling like a big brother, all the altcoins tend to follow suit. So it gives us a good indication of the macro psychological mood of the buying and selling behavior. Now, remember I said the maximum typical correction is what? 78.6%. Well, let's actually measure this. So we can take this low to this high. Look where the 78.6% is. This is a typical maximum correction. Where is the price right now? Is likely over the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're probably going to see sideways to down, bounce off this $16,000 range, and then over the series of 12 to 24 months, go on to make all-time new highs. By the way, if you want this exact analysis on my weekly chart, I also include the stochastics RSI, a particular momentum indicator. You can now actually download the chart for free. Get it in the description link below. I'll give you some great value, not only Bitcoin, but some of the other coins that we've done analysis on recently, because it's a methodology which really stacks the odds in our favor, where we know more often than not, it will play out more often than not. So the last thing I want to finish on with Bitcoin, if we just zoom in, this part of the market, now, it's not guaranteed to unfold like this, but it's highly probable. This part of the market, the last part of this wave C on a weekly chart, looks like it's breaking down to a 1, 2, 3, a potential wave 4, and a final leg down. What that indicates is that the next 4 to 6 weeks are going to be tough times for crypto, for Bitcoin, for altcoins. Overall, market's doing a correction or finishing off a major correction. But what to be on high alert for is the coming 12 to 24 months. We're probably at some point very soon over the next 4 to 6 weeks going to see a continuation of the trend reversal of what we saw in 2017, we saw in 2019, 2021, and we're probably going to get a continuation. And once we see some impulsive movements, then we can anticipate higher highs being made. I'm going to finish today's video on a quote. You can actually now download my book for free. It's in the description link below. There's a particular quote that I think is really, really relevant. It's Warren Buffett. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, never forget rule number 1. Now, in this current market condition, it feels normal and natural to want to sell because it's depression. It's fear. There's fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and there's going to be a lot of negative news. So don't be overly surprised over the next 4 to 6 weeks if there's even more negative news. But unless you're trading and you're trading the highs and the lows and the swing highs and the swing lows, if you're hodling your altcoins, is to be patient and allow us to go through this last part of the bearish part of the market. And if we do successfully, then the trend is your friend. You want to ride it until its end, until it reaches its bend. Well, since November last year, we've been sideways to down, and it looks like we're coming close towards the end of a major correction, but it's not over yet. 4 to 6 weeks sideways to down. How long exactly? We don't know, but it looks like it's unfolding, but we're looking for a trend reversal. But the 12 to 24 months that's going to proceed, that's where the big money is going to be made, and that's what you want to anticipate and be ready for. So like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm bringing you daily value. Download the charts, is in the description link below. Bitcoin, we're going to keep a very, very close eye on over the coming days and weeks, because it looks like we're coming towards the end of a major correction.